Have you ever wondered what lurks in the deepest, darkest parts of our oceans? What ancient beings might slumber beneath miles of black water, waiting to reclaim what was once theirs? Tonight, we dive into those depths. The first time I saw the creature, I convinced myself it was a trick of light on the waves. I was wrong, so terribly wrong. My name is Dr. Sarah Chen, and until 3 months ago, I led the Mariana Deep Sea Research Initiative. Our mission seemed straightforward: map the unexplored trenches of the Pacific Ocean using new autonomous vehicles capable of withstanding extreme pressures. But what we found down there, what we awakened, has haunted my every waking moment since. It began with anomalous readings from our deep-sea sensors. Massive displacement events at depths where nothing should be moving, accompanied by low-frequency vibrations that made our most hardened equipment malfunction. The local fishing communities spoke of strange lights in the water at night, of entire schools of fish vanishing overnight, and of dreams, terrible dreams of vast cities beneath the waves. I dismissed their warnings as superstition. After all, I was a scientist, trained to seek rational explanations. But rationality crumbled the night our primary research vessel, the Nautilus, picked up something on the sonar that defied explanation. A shape so massive it couldn't possibly be biological, yet it moved with deliberate purpose through the blackness 11,000 meters down. "This can't be right," Lisa, our sonar technician, muttered as she adjusted her equipment. "Something this size. It would have to be bigger than a blue whale. Much bigger." I leaned over her shoulder, watching the ghostly image pulse on her screen. The shape was vaguely humanoid, but wrong. All wrong. Multiple appendages extended from its form like the spokes of a wheel, and its head, if you could call it that, appeared to be crowned with writhing tentacles. "Send down the ROV, I ordered, my scientific curiosity overwhelming my growing sense of dread. "Let's get a visual." That decision would cost 3 members of my crew their lives and their sanity. The remote-operated vehicle descended through the crushing depths, its powerful lights illuminating the endless black of the abyss. At first, we saw nothing but the usual deep-sea landscape: volcanic vents, strange bacterial mats, and the occasional ghostly fish. Then, at 10,900 meters, our cameras caught something that made my blood run cold. Ruins. Ancient ruins of impossible architecture, stretching as far as our lights could penetrate the gloom. Cyclopean blocks of stone carved with symbols that hurt the eyes to look at, arranged in geometries that seemed to bend space itself. And carved into these stones, repeated over and over, was an image that matched perfectly with artifacts we'd found scattered across the Pacific. A creature, half man, half fish, with a face of writhing tentacles. Dagon, the ancient Philistine deity, the fish god of the deep. But these weren't just ruins. They were stirring. As we watched in horror, the silt of centuries began to shift. Massive forms moved in the darkness beyond our lights, and then we saw it. A single, enormous eye opening in the blackness, larger than our entire research vessel. An eye that held within it the weight of eons, the knowledge of civilizations that ruled this planet long before humans crawled from the primordial ooze. The next events happened so quickly, I still struggle to piece them together. Our ROV was crushed like a tin can by something moving faster than should be possible at those depths. The Nautilus's hull groaned as powerful currents battered us from all sides. And then the dreams began. Every person on board experienced the same vision that night. Vast underwater cities of green-black stone, populated by shapes that defied description. Creatures that were never meant to exist in our reality, moving through water thick with the corpses of dead gods. And rising above it all, a voice that spoke directly into our minds, ancient and terrible. We return. The deep places have kept us. The stars align. We return. 3 crew members went mad that night, clawing at their own eyes to try to erase what they'd seen. 2 more threw themselves overboard, walking calmly into the waves while muttering about joining the deep ones. By the time we made it back to port, half our crew was either dead or insane. But that wasn't the end. It was just the beginning. In the months since, shipping has disappeared across the Pacific at an alarming rate. Coastal cities report strange phenomena, fish with human-like eyes washing up on shores, people walking into the ocean in trances, and vast shapes seen moving beneath the waves. The military has classified our findings, but I know the truth cannot be contained. They're rising, the old ones, the beings that ruled this planet billions of years ago, and Dagon, their herald, leads their return. Last night I found scales growing between my fingers. When I close my eyes, I see that vast underwater city, and I feel a longing, a calling. The ocean speaks to me now, whispers secrets of the deep places, of the glory that awaits when the old ones fully awaken. I'm leaving this record as a warning. Humanity has always feared the unknown depths of our oceans, and now we know why. We were never meant to be the dominant species on this planet. We are just the temporary custodians, keeping their domain warm until their return. And they have returned. If you're reading this, it's already too late. Look to the oceans. Watch for the signs. When the waves rise without wind, when the fish begin to change, when the dreams of deep cities and ancient gods plague your sleep, know that Dagon has awakened. The old ones are stirring, and they remember what was once theirs. They're calling me now. The tide is rising, and I can feel them waiting. The scales have spread to my neck, and my fingers are beginning to web. Soon I will join them in the deep, where ancient cities await, where forgotten knowledge sleeps in the darkness. But before I go, I must ask, do you hear it too? That whisper in the waves, that call from the deep. Listen carefully, they're coming for us all. If you enjoyed this tale of cosmic horror, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on more terrifying stories from the depths of human imagination. Leave a comment below sharing your own deep-sea encounters or theories about what really lies beneath the waves. Until next time, remember, the ocean holds secrets older than time itself, and some things are better left undisturbed. Sweet dreams, if you can still sleep after this.